They voted all three of those.
Timing.
You're a minute early, come on.
Timing perfect.
Yeah, someone's goofy.
Your mic is on. Give me the second mic on.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And I see Mr. Platinum. Yeah. Yeah, great job.
You're a primary business.
Honored that you're here.
Don't hurt me.
Yeah, I bet. See, there she is. I told you she'd be here. Where are you, sir?
Yeah.
Would you like to?
Oh, I don't know. Not after last week.
I have some more names for you. Now 6 p.m. I would like to call the July 8th, 2026 City Council regular meeting to order. Would everyone please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Carrie,
Present.
Chilson,
Present.
Hutchings,
Here.
Nelson,
Present.
Parker,
Yes, ma'am, I'm here.
Wackler.
Present.
You have a quorum, sir.
I may have a motion to approve the agenda and consent agenda. Mr. Carey,
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I move the approval of the agenda and the consent agenda as presented to us.
may I have a second, please? Thank you, Ms. Hutchings. Are there any changes to the agenda or consent agenda? Vice Mayor Parker.
Thank you, Mayor Whitney. I move to amend the agenda and consent agenda by adding lay down resolution 2026-026, reallocating funds for investment purposes amongst the short-term, medium-term, and long-term accounts, introduced by the city manager.
Oh, it's here.
I'll second.
Are there any objections to adding resolution 2026-026 to the agenda and consent agenda? Seeing and hearing none, it is added to the consent agenda. Will the clerk please read the consent agenda?
June 24, 2026 City Council meeting minutes. Ordinance 2026-020, increasing estimated revenues and appropriations by $3,000 in the general fund for a donation received from the Soldotna Library Friends, sponsored by the city manager. Public hearing on August 12th. Ordinance 2026-021, adopting procedures regulating unsafe and disruptive conduct at public facilities, sponsored by the city manager. Public hearing on August 12th. Resolution 2026-026, reallocating funds for investment purposes amongst the short-term, medium-term, and long-term accounts, sponsored by the city manager. Action Memorandum 2026-015, approving the issuance of a letter of non-objection to AMCO for Pappy's Mexican Grill and Cantina's application for a new restaurant endorsement and transfer of ownership. Action Memorandum 2026-016, approving the issuance of a letter of non-objection to AMCO for Lucy's Market's application for a new restaurant eating place license. Action Memorandum 2026-017, confirming the cancellation of the July 22nd, 2026 regular council meeting. That is your consent agenda.
Are there any public comments on any of the items just read by the clerk? Anyone here in the audience wishing to speak on any item just read by the clerk? Seeing and hearing none, we had no previous signups for remote testimony tonight, so there is no one to do that. Having no one wishing to speak, the approval of the agenda, consent agenda is back before the council. Ms. Hutchings.
I would like to recuse myself as far as Poppy's Mexican Grill since we rent the space to them.
And that I will declare that as a conflict on that particular resolution. Having no one else wishing, or are there any council objections to approving the agenda and consent agenda? Seeing and hearing none, the agenda and consent agenda are approved by unanimous consent. Next item on the agenda is presentations with prior notice, and that will be the Soldotna Visitor Center quarterly update by Sarah Hondell, the Soldotna Chamber of Commerce Executive Director.
Minutes.
Good evening. Thank you, Mayor and Council. I'm pleased to share with you our second quarter report for 2026. We continue to see steady progress across all of our core areas of membership, events, and business support. Our membership remains strong at the Soldotna Chamber. We have 471 active members. We had a membership increase of 21% over quarter one. And I would like to say that I have a phenomenal team, and between our visitor center manager, our events manager, and our membership manager, we have all been feet to the ground looking for new businesses in the area that we can deliver services to, and just telling them about all the different benefits that we offer. And one of the new things that we've been having a lot of momentum with is on our social media. So to support business growth and success, we've been having feature Fridays and also small or shop local Saturday features on Facebook and Instagram, where we feature different members in different business sectors. And those have proved to be phenomenal additions to our social media campaigns. And so I'm very proud of our team for doing that, as well as we are implementing SEO tools to better highlight the value of chamber membership, because we want to add increased visibility to them. Our focus going forward is on growing membership through direct outreach and event partnerships like the coming Progress Days around the corner. At the same time, we will continue supporting current members through our networking events and exclusive sponsorship opportunities. In terms of events and engagement, quarter two included a successful, I just want to interject that I got some really awesome news right before I came, so I'm just not floating on cloud nine because I'm going to be a grandma. Anyways, quarter two included a successful second annual Job Shadow Day in collaboration with Soldotna High School. We had, for the second annual Job Shadow, 32 local businesses open their doors to a total of 128 juniors, giving them a chance to explore careers, ask questions, gain hands-on experience building those connections. And our keynote speaker was Scott Davis, Snowmobile Hall of Fame inductee and Davis Block Concrete owner. One of the things we're trying to deliver at these job shadows is working with Soldotna High School and having either alumnus or someone that has not only graduated from Soldotna High School, but also shows that, you know, they have been very successful in their business endeavors in our community. So it was great to be able to highlight having Scott Davis there, and we want to continue that momentum. He delivered an engaging keynote address during the event luncheon, which we hosted. Our business support and economic impact. On the business support front, we have hosted 5 networking luncheons this last quarter, including a special combined luncheon honoring our scholarship recipients and our fourth quarter Student of the Quarter awardees. Although these events welcomed a combined total of roughly 215 attendees, this number included business leaders, staff, and students from our community. And then we last month just kicked off our Quilt tour, Shop Local program, which that began on June 15th and will continue until July 18th. But we had a record number of businesses, not just in Soldotna, but also in Kenai and Sterling, on K Beach, but 22 businesses that are hosting quilts. And so if somebody would like to pick up a Shop Local passport, they can do that at any 22 of the businesses, and those can be found on our visitsoldotna.com website, because there is a couple of extra, you have to have a passport in hand to find out the extra ways you might be able to put your name in to win prizes, because with the Shop Local program, each business participating has to put up a gift valued at $100. Tuesday mornings, I join Matt Wilson for the morning update on KSRM 9:20 a.m. It's around 8:30 a.m. on Tuesdays, where I present upcoming events, business spotlights, and I've been doing something new by giving business tips to conclude that morning update show. And I just want to say how much the Soldotna Chamber appreciates council support. We look forward to what the rest of the year is going to bring. And the second page talks about how we're doing basically in the visitor center through marketing, events that are connected with the visitor center, and then some stats on our social media and our website. Overall, for when we are collecting data about visitors coming into the center itself, we have counters on our doors, and we collect that data from May to September. This year, we're going to do it a month longer. I want to see data from May through October. But in May, we had a total, May 2026, we saw 2,170 visitors in the visitor center. Our count was slightly higher than May of last year, but we saw a bigger increase in our June numbers from last year, a 21% increase actually. And so June's been pretty hopping in our visitor center. And that was also without getting our additional porta potties, to help with the influx of foot traffic, because we only have the 2. So we feel a little bit of growing pains in June, and that will continue through July, of course, in my next report. But we are on track to surpass 2025's visitor count this season. One of the things that we did in April, which I've been with the chamber almost 15 years. I cannot remember if we've ever had a local presence at our Kenai Peninsula Home Show. So this year, we made that happen. We saw a huge success in being visible locally, because usually we do different kinds of trade shows that are in different areas of the state. We've been to the Matsu and Fairbanks before, in Anchorage, but it was nice to see the feedback we received from being at one of our local shows. And we had 500 people sign up to a drawing that we had for just a Soldotna. I say just a Soldotna. I'm excited because it was a Soldotna swag basket, and 500 people, locals, were interested in that, so that was exciting. We had released our Kickstart Summer 50/50 raffle at that event. We handed out our boxes of the Soldotna Guide. We interacted with members that were in attendance, and we also picked up some member prospects. It was noticed again by our members that were in attendance there that they just really appreciated for us supporting local, and it showed because we were at that show. Our Soldotna advertising and marketing, so far, you can see in the bulleted list there, that's where we have been marketing Soldotna and ordering the visitor guide. I am going to bring back a contract with Milepost, so we'll be having an ad in the Milepost for next year, because this is around the time when these same publications start reaching out to me for next year. For our visitor guide distribution, we have mailed out 741 qualified leads. We get leads from our website and from our membership through Visit Anchorage. And so when visitors go to our website, they can elect to sign up for a free visitor guide to be mailed to them. And then because we have a membership with Visit Anchorage, they send us leads where people have elected through their Visit Anchorage guide that if they're interested in Soldotna, they check a box and then Visit Anchorage sends that to us. So for this, for the year to date, we've mailed out 741 guides. We have also have about, I think it's 20 racks, like magazine racks in different businesses on the Central Kenai Peninsula. So we have visitor guides in those, and we're constantly restocking in Sterling because Cook's has one, and so does one of the campgrounds out there, and they've been going through them pretty quickly, which is exciting. Walgreens is always empty, it seems like. So that's another popular place to get a visitor guide. Our Soldotna relocation packets for distribution, we've mailed out 11 where we got the request through our website, and we have given out 20 in person. We have some real estate agents that are members with us that will come in and they'll ask for a relocation packet. What that includes is a visitor guide, a printed packet that looks similar to this that has different stats. We put your financial report in this packet along with information about the school district, the borough, like regroups, recycling program, things that people moving to Soldotna may be interested in. And so our realtors like to get those because they get a lot of people that are interested in that information as well. And if you look down the center column on this second page here, there's some quick results on how well our newsletter that goes out every Monday is doing. We still have a really strong open rate for the newsletter. We gained 33 new subscriptions to that. I promote that on my morning update on KSRM, that if you want to be in the know about events happening, subscribe. Our Facebook page, that Feature Friday call out there is because we had 17.9 thousand views on the Peace Garden Trail System. So when we do our Feature Fridays, remember how I said we try to do members that are in different industries? So we're also, this was something new that our membership manager, she's been doing the Feature Fridays, wanted to do. It was a sunny day. She took advantage of it. She did one of the local trails, and that did so well, sharing that on our social media. And then our visitor center manager has been taking care of our social media for Visit Soldotna. And so one of the posts that did well was we called it Frontier Friday, and it was when we had Barb Jewell and a couple of other homesteaders at the Soldotna Library with their presentation. So as you can see, everything has a little uptick for this quarter and engagement, and we're just so excited to see that. Also, we have the geocache that's I can't tell you where it is. You'll have to participate in geocaching to find it, but there are some coordinates down on that third column. We had 36 people go find our geocache hidden on the property year to date, and that's 18% higher than the same time last year. And people, I like to use the word tchotchkes, but geocachers, they'll find a cache and they'll take a tchotchke and they'll leave a tchotchke. And I, because we're part of geocaching.com, which is the official website, we get to read comments of these visitors and residents alike that are finding the geocache. And we get tons of compliments on the visitor center and, you know, being able to have that as just another way that they can stay engaged in the local area. So it's fun to read those. Our Artist Spotlight series is going strong for 2026. In April and May, we had photography on display from our Soldotna Chamber board members and our staff. And then last month, we had Melinda Hirschberger with her Vintage Works, a collection of vintage pieces done in oil and acrylic. And so just like you have beautiful artwork on your walls, we've been embracing the same in the visitor center, and that's been a hit. And then our last page of the packet talks a little bit more about second quarter's events. And a couple of things that I wanted to call out is you have a picture on the top right of your packet of Mary Beth, our visitor center manager. Mary Beth she's local, but she has lived in Anchorage for a few years, and she worked at the historic Anchorage Hotel. And so being in tourism and also working the Ferrande shop, she brings a lot of retail experience as well to her position. And so it's phenomenal to have her on board, but she went to the Visit Anchorage Travel Expo to get new ideas about things that we could potentially carry and adopt in the Soldotna logo shop. And then she also made some great connections of other people in tourism with businesses that we just want to grow by having them join our visitor center and chamber. And then she was pretty brand new. She joined us in the end of March, early April. And right off the bat, that's leading up to April's a great time for teachers to plug in those last minute field trips. And so Ever, our membership manager, and Mary Beth were invited to Soldotna Elementary to do a presentation on commerce to the 5th and 6th grade classes, and they were there for an entire morning while 5th and 6th graders rotated through their presentation. I think they had to say it 4 different times, and it was just very cool. The teacher was Mrs. Cox, who's been in the community forever. Just a glowing review of the 2 ladies that presented on what a chamber does. So I just wanted to highlight and shout them out. And of course, we had our 33rd annual Soldotna Chamber Scholarship Awards. That was always very special, near and dear to me because my first career was elementary school teacher, so education's important. A special thank you to Ryan Kapp. He is a Soldotna High School alumnus. He was our keynote speaker this year. We awarded a total of $18,000 in scholarships through the Soldotna Chamber, and you can see there who our winners were. Isaac Earhart, he's actually one of the teachers at Soldotna High School. He put in his application for the Rosie Reeder Continuing Education Scholarship, and he won that this year. And then Sarah DeVold and Abigail White won the high school senior scholarships. And then for our Vera Haworth Career and Technology Education Scholarships, we had Jack Witten, Lydia Fadai, and Elijah Sean McMullen. And it's been quite the busy second quarter. No slowing down, because then we had, which I gave you all a copy, the kickoff to the Summer Levitt Amp Soldotna Music Series. We started off the first Wednesday in June with the Color Fun Run. And our numbers, we just overall keep seeing increases. So we had almost 200 not families, but individuals, families combined, participate in that Color Fun Run. And something new this year that we did is we wanted to support our businesses, and we leveled up. We went from 4 to 6 different color stations, and we had different businesses or organizations adopt one of those stations to get everybody colored up and spritzed with water. And so they're listed out in the green box for you. And then, of course, we can't do it without the safety and the help from Central Emergency Services. And we're incredibly grateful for the work and help that City of Soldotna does through Parks and Rec and the city maintenance department for providing us with candles to keep everybody safe. Kenai National Wildlife Refuge, they've been great because we do the registration and the kickoff to that run in their parking lot. So just, I love working at the chamber because I say we're connectors, and we really are. We collaborate with so many different community partners, businesses, you name it. And it's always fun to be able to report the success that these different events have, because it's more than just about the chamber, it's about our community. Lemonade Day was wonderful. We co-hosted it this year again with Kenai Chamber of Commerce, and we had 39 lemonade stands set up across the central Kenai Peninsula. Many of those kiddos exceeded their goals. When they go to the business workshop, they receive an official business license just for Lemonade Day. It's really cute. And we're supporting those young entrepreneurs. And then I'm circling back to Levitt because, wow, we've had great weather on Wednesdays, and it just shows with our attendance, especially last week. I know it's not in Q2, but I just have to say I was on my adrenaline rush from how many people were in the park last Wednesday. I think I'm still riding that because that was pretty cool. It's so nice when it's sunny. We are also at the chamber, we're running the beer garden this year as a fundraiser for the Sold Out in a Chamber. That's been doing well. We had a learning curve the first Wednesday because we hadn't been on that part where we set it up, and there was a little bit of a long wait, but we have that dialed in now. And I just am so proud of my team for, making that happen. It's now where I can leave, and I feel very comfortable that everybody knows their role. And that's a great feeling when you have a team like that that's so cohesive. And that's where we're at right now at the Sold Out in a Chamber. And so that is my report. If you have any questions, I will have more financials on where we're going for the rest of the year at my next report in Q3.
Any questions from the council from Ms. Hundell?
Thank you.
Just want to say thank you for all that you and your team do. I was actually at the Music in the Park last week. I've never seen anything like that. It was incredible. Just fantastic.
That was pretty cool. I still like adopting the term that's our community living room, right, on Wednesdays, because I felt that last week.
All righty.
All
Thank
right.
you very much for the report.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you, council.
The next item on the agenda is public comments and presentations. Are there any members of the public who would like to speak on any item not appearing on the agenda? And I see no one here in the audience wishing to speak. Next item on the agenda is Assembly and Legislative Reports, and I see no one from the Assembly or the Legislature here to speak. Next item is public hearings, Ordinance 2026-019, approving the fiscal year 2027 capital budget in the amount of $1,050,000 through increasing estimated revenues and appropriations by $300,000 in the general fund and $750,000 in the Soldotna Regional Sports Complex Fund, introduced by the city manager. May I have a motion to enact? Ms. Hutchings.
Make a motion.
May I have a second, please? Thank you, Mr. Carey. A report from the administration.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. This ordinance appropriates the funds for the capital projects, the resolution you approved at the last meeting, and this appropriates the budget to carry out the projects. If you have project-specific questions, Director Cornelis is here to answer those.
Thank you. Are there any members of the public who wish to speak on this item, which is ordinance 2026-019? Seeing no one here in the audience, no one wishing to speak, it's back before the council. Are there any council comments? Any objections to approving enacting ordinance 2026-019? Seeing and hearing none, ordinance 2026-019 is approved by unanimous consent. Next item on the agenda is new business, and that was all covered under the consent agenda. Next item, mayor and council reports. Mayor's report. The only thing I have to report is you saw that we won the Battle of the Cities, and with the most combined weight of food donated, it was somewhere for us around 10,000 pounds. And for Kenai, I believe it was around 6,000. The difference this year was they collected more food items. We collected more money. So it was a tight race there for a few days, but we prevailed. And on this Saturday at, I believe it's about 6:30, I will be rolling out the first pitch, unless I can find a nice young man or a lady who likes to play baseball that can do it for me. So that's about all I have to say. It's, weather's been holding up pretty nice. Getting out there and getting a lot of walking in, and we live in a great community. So next item, council reports on boards and commissions, June 25th Parks and Recreation Advisory Board meeting, Vice Mayor Parker.
Thank you, Mayor Whitney. The Parks and Rec Advisory Committee adopted a couple of policies. One was a public posting policy identifying the parameters for if you want to post something within their buildings. And then the other was they adopted there will be some new signs being installed at Riverview Park, Swiftwater, Arc Lake, and Rotary Park. And not only does it have the name of the park, but it also has the local Dena'ina Indigenous name on the sign as well. So that will be going up. And I was trying to verify because there was a comment made during the report that Soldotna Creek Park saw peak visit in June of over 12,000 visitors into the park in a single day. So I'll have to go back and verify the date that I wrote down to make sure that it's correct. But Soldotna Creek remains a popular place, whether it's Wednesdays or any day for people to go and hang out. And that's all that we did at the Parks and Rec.
Any questions for Vice Mayor Parker? Seeing none, the next one is July 1st, 2026, Planning and Zoning Commission meeting. Ms. Wackler.
Thank you. It was a regular meeting. There were no policies or code changes that were made. I feel like my microphone's really loud. I feel like I can hear it. No, okay, I'm just hearing it really loud. There was discussion about a warehouse change being done next to Cadre Feed. They already own the property, but the significant changes in it make it have to abide by current code. There's a little pushback and forth about trees and things like that. I think that staff made reasonable accommodations with the property owner, and it was approved by Planning and Zoning. So that is my report for Planning and Zoning today.
Any questions for Ms. Wackler? Seeing none, one thing I forgot to mention under my report is July 25th is Progress Days. So we need bodies there to do hot dogs. And my assistant has managed to figure out a way not to be there again this year, but I'm not going to give him any grief about it. So if you've got the time on July 25th, please join us in doing hot dogs. And might as well tell Ms. Blankenship what size T-shirts you might need if you are going to attend.
If you haven't also.
If you haven't already, yeah. Okay, next item on the agenda is City Manager's Report.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Today, the mayor and Director Cornelis and I met with Mayor Machicki and Dana Canova. One of the several topics, but one of the topics is regarding the pools and, a check-in to see where things are. And all of the agreements have been transmitted to the school district. And there's been no response from the school district for any of the agreements borough-wide. So Mayor Machiki was going to contact the school district to have a meeting. And if there is not a response, the plan and the request is that all mayors, city mayors, will file a joint letter to the school district to hopefully prompt a response. As you know, the organization for the Silhigh Pool really desires to begin operations immediately for swim lessons, open swim, because that is the time during the summer that they can make the funds they need to continue throughout the year. So we'll continue to wait on the school district, and if we need to, we'll take different route to get what we need to get. Another discussion was the CES building, and I'm going to call it the old or current CES building when I go back and forth and talk about it. And we've had this conversation before. Last time, Director Cornelis and I met with the Mayor Machiki regarding what are the plans for the current old CES building. And the plan is to return it back into commercial hands, commercial operations, and that will be for the borough to decide how that looks, but they do not plan to retain it for borough operations. There is also a ribbon cutting on July 24th at 4 p.m. and there's a barbecue to go along with it at the new CES building. So July 24th at 4 p.m.
4 to 6.
Yeah, 4 to 6. Also, we spoke about the lightly, I'm going to say because we're running out of time, but LNG project and its impact on municipalities. And on the city side, previously it'd been the borough working on their impact on behalf of cities. But as we talk through it, the city side, there's a formula. We're going to begin working on the formula and the data for the impact on our side. We have, obviously, we know what the impacts will be to our roads, to our infrastructure, so on, and our law enforcement, and so on and so forth, but we'll run it through the spreadsheet that they have to have the exact numbers for all that as much as we can. We spoke about borough land within the city, hope to work with the borough on opening that land in whatever capacity they want to open it for housing. And then also some of the land is adjacent to the cemetery, reserving a couple of acres for cemetery expansion. Today, this morning received the grant, Rural Health Transportation Grant, regarding the signalization study. So I received the grant package and reviewing it, and then we'll sign it. And there's an anticipated start date of October 1st of 2026. Still, we think probably about a year before it will be complete, but we do have 3 years for the grant. And we will be working with DOT, and that is part of the grant obligation. I wanted to give a statistic about the field house, and this is for April 1st through June 30th. For the free senior walking, there are 1,314 seniors registered with over 15,540 walking sessions during that time frame. So well-loved and well-used facility. And that's all I have this evening, unless there's any questions.
Any questions for the city manager?
Sure.
Joseph.
Just a quick question on the signalization study. Will that study incorporate consideration of potential pedestrian connections across the road to the trail system at Solteshi, tying into Centennials, or is it specifically looking only at vehicular intersection regulation?
Particular vehicle intersection, however, it is our desire then to have crosswalks within that, although that can be pretty dangerous, but that's part of what we'll be studying to see how that can be accommodated as well.
Okay, because I know there's been, for a while now, there's been talk off and on about maybe a pedestrian bridge or some kind of connector there, and I think that might be like a long shot dream for someday, but I don't know if the study incorporates any of that.
It does not. Part of that is because DOT is opposed to that type of thing, and so we want to stay within that to be successful to receive a signal.
Fair enough. Thank you.
Vice Mayor Parker.
I was curious. I saw where the Kenai Pool is open in July for seniors for swimming. how are they able to open the pool, but Sohi can't?
That is a very good question. And I would say that at this time, it appears that the school, there is not an agreement in place with Kenai yet, although that's one that's been transmitted but has not been signed. And my understanding is that that would be the school district continuing the operations there, is my understanding. So high, there were maintenance items being taken care of. The pool was drained halfway and agreement to keep the water in, and then an executive decision was made to drain it completely. That's another discussion that's going to happen with the school district.
I would add that I was just working up at Skyview yesterday and the pool's still full up there. So I don't know what's going on with the pools.
Yeah, I would also add, we don't either, we tried to focus on so high, but within the discussion, but they do have enough money, as we heard, through the 710 account to function for the year. They lost their pool manager, and so it sounds like they're going to hire as we, at the last meeting, a physical therapist reported she received notification that there would not be physical therapy there, but that has to do with a maintenance period is what we were told today. But quite honestly, these are things that the borough is just hearing as well without the concrete information.
To add a little bit to what city manager mentioned, it seems to be that the entire roadblock to all this getting resolved rests in the school district offices. Whether it's intentional or they just don't have the time to take a look at things is anybody's guess right now. But that is where the agreements are and where they're not moving forward. So I'm a little disappointed in some of the things that we heard. I think one of the things that bothered me probably the most is the information about the Skyview pool being open and then being the school district is still going to run it based on their 710 account, whatever it is. They figure they can do that for a year. In the meantime, they totally drained the Sohi pool when the plan was only to do partial drainage so they could do maintenance, and someone else made the decision to completely drain it. So even if everything came to fruition today, I think it'd probably be August before they can get everything up and running. It's just a little discouraging. A lot of people put a lot of work into coming up with a plan to keep Sohi pool open. And it just seems that there's one roadblock after another to get it done. So we'll just wish for the best. Do you have anything else to add?
I do not. Thank you.
Moving on to the next agenda item, public comments. Any members of the public would like to speak on any item? And we have no one here in the audience. Council comments. We'll start with Vice Mayor Parker.
Enjoy July.
Mr. Chilson.
I know we all know this, but occasionally I just have to vocalize it. It's just, I really appreciate what an incredible community we have here. My wife and I have been teaching our young son how to pedal bike, and we went for a family bike ride this evening down to one of our parks, and police were waving at him, flashing their lights, and he was smiling. Clean parks, safe streets to go to, just the generosity with Soldotna here, with the food competition. We really have an incredible special place here, and I'm just grateful for that, and occasionally have to vocalize it. As the mayor mentioned, I'm not going to be present for Progress Days coming up. I unfortunately have a out-of-town class that I got scheduled for that weekend, and I genuinely feel guilty for missing it. I was really looking forward to that, so I'll take my demotion into a lower-level grill master and work towards that again next year.
Mr. Nelson.
No comments tonight, thanks.
Mr. Carey.
No comment?
Ms. Wackler.
I can help you out. I don't know if I'll be able to fill Jordan's shoes as grill master, but me and Dave maybe can do beverages again. We were pretty good at it, but other than that, no comments today. Thank you.
Ms. Hutchings.
No comment.
Okay, the next item on the agenda is executive session, and there is no need for one this evening. And next item, meeting announcements, July 20th, 2026, Library Advisory Board meeting at 5:15 PM. Next, canceled, the July 22nd, 2026 City Council meeting at 6 PM. Repeat has been canceled. August 5th, 2026, Planning and Zoning Commission meeting at 5:30 PM. And August 12th, 2026, City Council meeting at 6 PM. Seeing nothing further on our agenda, we are adjourned.